Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Kerbal Space Program. I think we already unlocked it, right? Oh yeah, here's these guys, but I guess it's still day 1, 2 hours, so we've done very little flying. I think at the end of 2 hours we're supposed to get some of our pilots back, but I don't know, who knows, it's a mystery. What I wanted to check was R&D. We did already unlock general construction, right? No, not that one. Yeah, this one. Got a crew cabin now. Okay. And I'm trying to remember... Get out of here. What it is that we did where we were able to get so high with a couple of hammers before. Like, what made that work where this doesn't work? Although, actually, first... I wanted to test my thought that I had last episode of just, like, doing some science in this thing on the launch pad. Observe the material bay. Yeah, we picked up like 7 science. Cool. And if we observe this, we get like nothing, right? Yeah. No interesting crew reports, I suppose. Indeed. Alright, well, you know. Wait a minute. This is an engineer. We're wasting science. Reset that. Let's recover the vessel and just send a real scientist along so we can get proper value out of our silly homegrown lab experiments. Let's just change the crew. Take out Bill the engineer and put in Bob the scientist. And try again. Not the parachutes, but the science thing. What happens if I just open the doors? I don't know, it's just a thing you can do for fun? Well, okay. Let's observe the material bay. Cool. Any crew reports any good right now? Nah. And this is still nothing, I believe. Yep, well, we're unable to take off with this, so let's just recover it, having done a bit of science. Pretty uninspiring space program, but, you know, you do what you gotta to get the science value, I guess. Okay, so, having done all of that, let's zoom out, not scroll down. Let's try to launch a real thing here. Now, what if we just did something a little bit silly and stacked together a couple of hammers rather than having them side by side? I feel like that would be a nightmare to fly, right? It would be quite hard to get it pointing straight. I think SAS is what we're missing. Maybe I should have checked the science tree to see, whatever, don't save. I don't need to know about that. What is it that we unlock that gets us SAS without needing a pilot involved? We could hire one, of course, but I think we're getting one back soon, and, like, I'm not... I'd like to not need one. Ah, dang it! I went back to the VAB. Boo. I forgot where I was going already. Science. Aviation. So flight control seems important, but it's actually not. This is for, like, space planes. How about any of these? Like, rover control stuff. I don't know what these adapters are for. FL-T, who knows? They're adapters for some kind of parts. I don't know what crossfeed is about yet. Electrics. You can buy lights. Advanced flight control. Yeah, this is... Oh, RCS thrusters. That's cool. Advanced construction. Is there like a search button somewhere? Fuel. Okay. Propulsion? No. Heavy rocketry, we don't... Yeah. Okay, well... I'm not sure exactly what we're up to yet. I'd like to get this, because we have a contract to test this particular fuel engine, or liquid fuel engine. But our current contracts are just like, get a hammer into space. Oh no, a Rockomax brand decoupler into space. We don't need a hammer. Okay, so that means that we can use, like, one of our fancy liquid fuel engines, I guess, to get up there. Which hopefully we can manage without, we can use that to manage the... I feel like it should be wider. Do we have structural stuff now, right? Yeah. So, this is a structural fuselage. Actually, like I was thinking, something like this, and then just like slapping on 4 liquid fuel engines on the side would be, oops, kind of an interesting choice. Right? Like, is this crazy? Is this overkill? I don't think it's necessary, but it is going to be a bit more flexible than what we've been doing before. I just need to get something relatively high up into space and then back down safely is the idea, without, like, twirling madly out of control. Parts 33 out of 30, so this is too much stuff. We could, I think, do without quite so many of these guys. Just have 2 of each instead of 4 of each. And that gets us under... Wait a minute. Two of each, though. Like that. Actually, we could remove these guys. It'd be nice to have them for suborbital spaceflight, but we've already done a fair bit of examination up there. And I'd rather have more... more of these guys. Ah! I lost track of the, There we go. Had these guys covered up. I don't know if it matters, but... Now we're at 31 parts out of 30? Really? Oops. Well, all the parts I have are kind of important. Maybe we'll just have 3 of these. That'll do it. Sure. That's good engineering reasons. Yeah, well, we're not allowed to have 31 parts. So, you know, boss just said. Okay, whatever, man. I think this ought to be enough to keep everything together. I don't know if this is enough to get up in as high as we want to go. But if it's not, I don't know, we'll think of something. I think it would be easier to just build like one long, tall thing. But it's going to be harder to steer, right? It's like, let me see the center of thrust. Well, yeah, of course it's there. Center of mass is like here. It's nice and... Is it too low? Do you want the center of mass to be low or high? I guess you want it to be kind of low. I think that's the idea. If it's... Like, if the center of mass is up here, then pushing down here is going to make things wobble a lot, I think. I don't have any Oh, I do have a decoupler. That's right, in the middle there. I have one decoupler and one center thing. And then 4 of these. If I wanted, I could have 4 radial decouplers for these, but that's more parts for no particular benefit. Alright, well, this is kind of a silly ship that is pushing the bounds of what we can do without upgrading. And maybe not doing it for any good reason. It might be much more effective to just have one long, tall thing, but I somehow don't think so. Let's save this as it's a 4-bagger. Save, and let's launch it. If this proves effective, we can just like replace the science bit with the tourist bit and have that mission completed. So I think we're basically just going to launch full throttle. Oh, yeah, the decoupling all looks fine. Just, yeah, let's launch full throttle here. Can't turn on SAS, I know. Okay, and try to keep the nav ball focused. I'm adjusting the roll manually. No, okay, yeah, that's why we need SAS, because this happens otherwise. Well, let's see how high we can get. I don't think this is going to go great. Alright, well, there you go. How'd we do? 7 kilometers. Alright, well, let's do some science. Yeah, 3.8 science, okay. Any crew reports? No, not really. Okay. Well, that happened. I still don't understand the rules about parachutes. Like, they're not fully deployed now, but they're slowing us down a lot. I guess what you do right now, they're like, I don't know. When you set up how late they trigger, that controls how their like final step of triggering. And then when you press spacebar, it's when you do their first step of triggering. I don't know. It's a mystery. Well, it's gonna be a while till this one lands. And I think if we just were to get a pilot, we'd be fine. These things, like SAS, should be enough to get this kind of thing to launch. And we found out that this is indeed enough parachutes to land a science kit. We could even cut out like the drag chutes. I think we don't particularly need those. Do we? I don't know. Maybe we don't need quite so many of the big chutes. We could probably do with just 2 of those, 2 of each. Okay. Well, it's still going to be a while till we land. What, 200 seconds divided by 4, 50 seconds, a minute, basically? Okay. Well, so I think it's about time to bite the bullet and maybe instead of buying a pilot. See, it's been 5 minutes and it's been 6 hours? I feel like if Jeb were going to come back, he would have done so already. So instead of, I think it's time. I would say it's time to just bite the bullet and buy a new pilot. But I'm gonna just hit like warp until morning. What is toggle time mode? Oh, I see. Huh. Warp and like wait until the morning. And if we haven't gotten Jeb back at the end of that, then he's probably not coming back. Do a new crew report. Any good? Oh, yeah. Crew report from land is more interesting. We haven't done so many of those, apparently. Oh, close the doors, will you? Recover the vessel. So we got some science anyway. Not a lot, but 5. I wish it would tell me somewhere how much I spent. Ah, we got back 97.9% of our value. That doesn't seem right. Because we definitely like lost some fuel and a ton of like the parts that we blew up. We didn't get those back. Oh, I see. It's 2.5 kilometers away from the Space Center, and therefore, of the stuff that we recovered, we got 97.9% of its value back. The stuff that we didn't recover, it's not clear like how much there was. Okay. The amount of science that we have is not enough to do anything. So, let's just hit this wait until morning thing. Okay. And see if we have this debris over there. Can I like, Can I do anything with it? Recover it? Oh, we got back some money, I guess. Alright, so let's see if we have... We don't have any of our pilots back, so let's buy a new one. To make up for our... His stability assist. Okay. And we're at the maximum number of people we can have. Alright, well. So if we can just fly, like, something a little bit more reasonable, I think. And you know, we might as well use a Rockomax thing, decoupler. Ooh, we have struts now. Sweet. So let's take like that, and then put a Rockomax decoupler in. But then we're taking the... That looks so dumb. Because if we can get one of these into space, we get rewarded, right? I guess. Let's just put one of these guys in. That ought to get us real high. Right? And, maybe, like, do we have enough... Like, can he actually steer this? Does it vector at all? 300 kilonewtons, vectored thrust. That seems good, I think. I don't know exactly what that means. Okay. What if we just, like, tried launching this into space, honestly? Like, this is pretty reasonable. Put a couple fins on it and call it a day. Like 3 fins on the bottom and maybe 3 more up here. Seems fine. Anything else I need? I don't know. I just want to test how well this thing works all by itself. We don't really need any of this stuff. Yeah, we don't need antennas. We could put a barometer on, I guess, you know. We haven't done a lot of measurements with this from space, I don't think. Oh, and we found that just 2 of these guys is plenty, really. Right? Yeah, that seems okay. And then if we need to, we can add a crew cabin later. We're well under the parts limit now. And I don't know, this looks like the dumbest rocket in the world, but it's super simple, so it either works or it doesn't work. which obviously is like... The main danger, I think, is that if we lose control of this craft, we won't be able to shut off the engines. And if we try to decouple without shutting off the engines, then the engines will slam into the rest of the ship and blow it up. So we're sort of strapped to this one until we run out of fuel. Not much we can do about it at that point, once we turn it on. So maybe it's actually best to test this one with a less valuable long rocket. Maybe it's valuable to test this one with a slightly less valuable cargo at the top, and just like, ooh, clicked outside the window there. Just like put one of these guys on top. And oh, but then we don't have SAS, and so that won't really be a very good test. Alright, you know what? Let's don't save. Wait, didn't I load the... I called it the long rocket, but I didn't... Oh, there it is. Load. Alright, we're gonna trust this one to a pilot. Or trust a pilot to this one, perhaps. I'm not sure which exactly. I think with SAS, this ought to be okay. It's fairly stable-ish. How about center of thrust? Well, of course, it's right at the bottom. Center of gravity is there. That's a little spooky. That seems pretty far away. Is that bad? I don't know. Let's launch it and see what happens. We can't be afraid of everything. Maybe it'll fall over on the launch pad. That would be pretty bad. Doesn't seem to be doing that. We have a very simple staging plan. Launch it, wait till it's empty, and then hope for the best, really. Should I install another module so that I can, like, get a slightly more reasonable re-entry angle? I don't think adding more complications to this is a good idea. Yeah. Let's just launch it and hope for the best. That's how science is done, right? What do these do? Action groups? I don't know about action groups yet. Huh. Well, I don't have any of these. Okay, well, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Just keep it steady. Wait, this is Jebediah. Did we hire another person named Jebediah? Oh, or did he come back as a hireable pilot rather than coming back as someone we actually have already? Maybe that's what happened. At any rate, he's flying it beautifully. I think we're easily going to get up to where we want to go. He might perish in the re-entry, I suppose. I hope not. Oh, we might be going... I think we made it. I think we made it. Our apoapsis isn't quite 100,000, which is where we wanted to be, right? That's too bad. So we need just a little bit more, huh? A little more oomph. Well, okay. Jeb has proven that he can take this, though. $99,000 meters. Well, let's do some science while we're up here. Rarefied air. Okay. Maybe actually, let's reset it. And, now we're actually in space. Yeah, this is worth more science. Cool. And we're definitely not making it, right? Yeah. short 800 meters. You could have given it just a little more gas, Jeb. We would have been geniuses. Okay, so that's what happens. We get Jeb back after a while, but you have to hire him back. That makes sense. So it's noticed that we are in a suborbital trajectory, but it wants to be a little bit more specific than that. It wants to be at 100,000. I could activate the decoupling and I think actually get, let's try it, get this part. Maybe just that tiny bit of extra oomph would get us higher? It got us like 80 meters higher, not 800 meters. Okay, well we're going to be coming in pretty steep when we do. But it should, I think, not require that much more extra oomph to get us this high again. But I mean, the problem is, yeah, we're on our way back down now. The problem is the re-entry is we're just gonna fall. We're gonna sink like a stone. This is how what's her name died, right? The other one? We just went straight up really far and we came in long before the parachutes were able to save us. In fact, they never went off at all. And I never did figure out what that was about. So I feel like this Jeb is gonna have a rough day, I guess, is what I'm thinking. We spent 65,000 bucks getting Jeb back, and I don't know. We learned something important about, like, yes, having SAS really does make it that much easier to go straight up. Okay, well, let's activate the parachutes. They won't actually do anything until we're back in the atmosphere. Let's activate them like super early, and then maybe maybe something good will happen as a result of that. Maybe we won't crash into the dang ground. I don't know. But Jeb's going to be coming in real fast. Yeah, there goes the space music. It's over now. And there's not much we can do to make his life any easier. We just have to hope he doesn't explode and die. And this is a small enough vessel? I don't know, maybe it somehow makes it through the atmosphere. Crazier things have happened. In fact, last time we launched a ship like this, it made it through the atmosphere and did not make it through the side of a mountain, I think is roughly what happened. We are continuing to gain speed. We're going like 1,000 meters per second. That's pretty fast. We're heating up now. Time to pay attention to the heat readings, I guess. Not that we can do anything about them. We are now slowing down instead of speeding up. That's something. Okay. It's decided it would like to flip over. Still going very fast straight down. But losing quite a lot of speed. It's just up to the parachutes now. They're not going. They're not happening at all. I don't understand what's wrong with the parachutes. I don't understand how to use them, I guess. They were going we were going so fast that it would be if we deployed the parachutes, they would just rip right off. Maybe that's what was going on. Well, sorry, Jeb. We killed you again. Oop, don't get under the ground, I guess. It starts to look awful. All right, take me back. Take me back. Why is it, Oh, there we go. Catastrophic failure. Yeah, we killed Jeb, we killed the science, we killed everything. And we didn't quite get high enough to achieve our eternal reward. Okay. So let's look at the other pilots available and see if this is a confirmation that, yes, we can rehire what's-her-name? Victoria, maybe? Astronaut complex. Well, not yet. But Valentine, that's right. Oh, she came back. Oh, and actually, Jeb did come back right into our list of pilots. This Neobald guy that we hired didn't actually go on the flight at all. We hired him, and it wasn't Jeb. I was not confused about that. But Jeb came back around, and like I didn't notice, and so we sent him on the flight. Okay, well, so we didn't need to hire another pilot. Okay, fine. So we have some idea of like sort of what to do. We need to carry up a bit more useful of a module, something. We need an orbital module that can actually like get itself going a little bit sideways, not just straight up and down. And we need a bit more oomph, but not a lot more. Maybe just adding, you know. Okay, well, we can figure that out next episode. We have had enough. Recover that. Yeah, recover that too. We have made enough errors this episode. So that... Oh, look, more debris. Recover it. Yeah, look at this. There's just stuff... Free money lying there. Okay. Now we're done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.